Welcome back to Bookstage and Screen. You're here with Samantha and Gordon, and we welcome Emma Watts, the creator of the fantastic No Strings Attached. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, I believe you've just jetted in from New York. Is this correct?
Yes, this is correct.
Good work.
So I may have a little jet lag. I just got in at 9 a.m. So,
so if you fall asleep halfway through the interview, we'll be like this, hello? Now, you work out of New York and Melbourne, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I moved to New York about 18 months ago for work.
Yep.
And it was one of those things where as soon as I moved there, the show that I was sort of really passionate about, Tales from Tinder, got up on the ABC. Since then, we've changed the name to No Strings Attached. And so I flew home for about 4 or 5 months to make it, and I've been sort of back and forth between New York and Melbourne since.
But there's a lot of actresses who go over to LA, and before they've gotten out of the airport, they've picked up an American accent. But you haven't really picked up.
I'm holding on strong to the Australian accent.
Well done. Congratulations.
It's good for work over there.
Well, what's the life of a puppeteer? Is this correct?
Well, yes. So I'm a producer-director myself, but I do hire a bunch of puppeteers who are fabulously talented to make our show.
Yes.
And it's definitely, I'd never sort of worked with puppeteers or puppetry before, but it's a total art form to be able to pick up a sort of a furry creature and turn it into something with so much expression and so much emotion, and to make you really care about their story. You know, these people are just so talented who do it. My hat goes off to them.
And so you're now thinking, do you ever think, oh, I'd like to pick up a puppet and or you leave it to the professionals?
Well, it's funny. It's a funny thing because you really do want to pick it up because you're watching them all day in rehearsal and you're thinking to yourself, oh, that looks easy. Yep. So you pick it up and it's one of those things that's a total disappointment. You watch yourself do it and you're like, this is awful. It's like a child playing with Barbies. No.
And you just step back behind the camera again.
Leave it to the experts.
So what is the deal with these puppets? They're not just socks and ping pong balls. What have you got?
No, we spent months making them. So this time around we were really fortunate. We had some funding from Screen Australia and Film Victoria, as well as the ABC, and a bit of money from NBCU as well. So we were able to make some stunning puppets. Yep. Vanessa Ellis and Michelle Long make our puppets here in Melbourne, and we spent sort of a month talking about the design. They're sort of, I suppose, for want of a better word, they're kind of hipster puppets. They wear sort of the latest threads and have all the latest gadgets, and they're beautiful. They are sort of works of art in themselves.
Well, they are reflecting characters. We should talk about the show. Characters from, well, not characters, but they're reflecting real-life people from stories from, well, what in the first series was Tinder, but now is Grindr, Tinder, what are the other ones?
Happen, Snapchat. Basically, we found that people using some of the most bizarre things to pick up online, even sort of some video gaming sites are very popular with some of the lesbian community to pick up. So we've got a great story about a lesbian gamer in there. So there's a whole sort of range of stories, but you're right, they're all true stories.
Yep. And
they're all of people who have picked up or met the love of their life or had the disaster date of their life from an online dating or dating app experience.
And did you find it hard to find those stories, or
people? In the beginning, it was a bit tricky, definitely. But we sort of started getting the word out, and then we started getting stories from all over Australia of people and their wild and wonderful dating app stories.
Yeah.
So in the end, we had an abundance of stories, and I probably heard over about 150 stories before we sort of pinned it down to our final 10 stories that we have in the series for the ABC.
Oh, okay.
And how long does each date go for?
The stories go between sort of 5 and 8 minutes. So they're nice sort of quick little pick-me-up things. We thought they'd be great sort of viewing for people at lunchtime in work or sort of after work, or if you have a few minutes on the tram or the train on the way to work.
And do the puppets kiss and stuff? What?
Oh, yes. It was, the puppets kiss. The puppets do a lot of things. You'll have to tune into the show to see exactly what they get up to, but some of it, you know, we were just in absolute hysterics making the show because the puppeteers just have the most wild imagination, and their improvisation in the bedroom scenes was particularly creative, shall we say. So we had a lot of fun filming it.
Well, that sounds great. And you have been picked up by not only here in Australia but NBCU.
Yeah, they're distributing us internationally.
Right.
And so we're looking at places. We might have somewhere in America. I'm not allowed to say too much at the moment, but I think in the next couple of months we'll be able to announce something in America, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing. So there's more series to come?
We're hoping so. So basically the ABC are going to see how this series goes. So if anyone's watching out there and they like the show, if they want to sort of jump on Facebook and tell the ABC that they liked it, then hopefully we'll get picked up for another season.
Oh, great. And so if you miss it on Sundays at 8:10, you can see it on iView, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. So basically what the ABC do, they're having a special week called the Dating and Mating Week, which is a special theme around everything to do with love.
Yep.
And we're sort of premiering every night of the week next week. So it starts on Sunday at 8:10.
Yep.
But if, you know, television's not your thing and you're all about the online, you can view it on iView and just binge the whole season if you like.
Oh, fantastic.
Everyone loves a binge.
Yeah.
I know.
Especially
Nothing
with some
better.
randy puppets. That's
And each episode is just one set of puppets, or are there what happens
One
in an
story?
episode?
So each episode is one person's story. So it might be someone who's been on Grindr and had a particularly interesting date, or a woman who's got an online gamer girl who has a very interesting date as well. So each episode tells the story of one person's date, and so we created individual puppets for every episode.
And do you think, because it mentions here in your press release about how it's like watching some bizarre alien race's mating rituals because they're puppets, you're looking sort of outside of yourself. Do you think it's easier to tell those more, you know, humiliating stories, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. And also, I think there's something about the puppets that give us a little bit of separation between who we are and what we're watching. And I suppose with the series, we really want it to be sort of funny, entertaining stories about sex and dating.
Yeah.
But also, on another level, the reason we became so interested in this whole topic is sort of the alienation people feel because of modern technology and what it's doing to, you know, one of our most basic things of finding love in the world. So that really comes across in the series, and I think that the puppets really help to highlight that and to sort of show us who we are, sort of put a sort of mirror up to online dating and what it's done to dating in 2016.
But how did you come up with the idea of using puppets for this? Were you in therapy or something, and you were going through puppets that way? And
No, basically how it came up is I was working on a TV show as a producer-director, and every Monday morning I would be dying to come to work because my editors and fellow producers would have had these amazing stories. On Friday they would be like, oh, I swiped right with, you know, a millionaire and we matched, and, you know, we're going on a date on Sunday. So I'd be hanging out all weekend to find out what happened. But, you know, average normal people do not want to show their face on television talking about their sex lives and their love life.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know, I've got to be able to tell these stories without showing their face. So I remembered a friend of mine is a puppeteer. A friend of a friend of mine is a puppeteer. So I asked him, and he was so enthusiastic, Michelin, and just sort of loved the whole idea that he came on board. And then slowly we got the rest of our team to come on board as well, which was great.
It's a great idea. It's very entertaining, and I look forward to seeing these ones. I've seen Tales from Tinder, but I haven't seen, obviously, No Strings Attached yet. And you went out to web series festivals and did very well as well with...
Yeah, we did. We were really lucky. Tales from Tinder and No Strings Attached have been shown at web series festivals, you know, from Rain Dance to New York Web Fest to Berlin, and we picked up a bunch of awards for sort of originality and best documentary, and we won the runner-up award for best web series at Bushwick Film Festival in New York a couple of weekends ago. So that was really great.
Fantastic. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Handy for you, seeing you're living in New York. That worked
jet
out
over
quite
there.
Nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. Not far to travel.
And for yourself, is your dating experience in any of these puppets?
No.
No?
I think
There was a pause.
maybe some of them slightly, but no. I'm married and sort of settled down, so I think it's one of those things where all my friends were using these online dating apps, and I suppose I wanted to live a little vicariously through them and find out more about their sort of exciting Friday and Saturday nights and what they were doing with these, random people who, in normal life they would never meet in a pub. And I think that's the most fascinating thing about the dating app or online dating. You're not sort of hooking up with people who are friends of yours who are, in your normal social circle.
Yeah.
So, often the dates are so much funnier because it's two people from completely different, bizarre worlds who would never normally interact, and they've matched online. And somehow they've got to spend, 3 hours together over dinner. So I think that's what makes the story so special.
Oh, it's an amazing... You've mined an area that could go on for years.
Yeah, we hope so. We love making the show. It's so much fun, I can't tell you.
Oh, wonderful. We look forward to seeing it, and continued success to you and the puppets, to your team.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having us. And if anyone's interested, we're also on Facebook. It's probably the best way to sort of keep up with what we're up to.
Yep.
It's just No Strings Attached series.
Beautiful.
And
Excellent,
and also
thank you.
dating Tinder. Are you?
Tales
are
from
the puppets? Are the puppets actually on Tinder or Grindr themselves?
No, but that's a good idea. Maybe we should do that.
Oh, that might bring out some real weird ones.
You've matched with a puppet.
We might create some stories for ourselves.
Yes, a dark place, that one. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you on the next series. Talk about
Lovely.
the next
Thank you
series.
so much for having me. Have a great day.
Thanks, Emma. Bye.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye-bye.
Bye.